saw that coming? In episode 3 of a 6-episode season, Vader and Obi-Wan meet already? Oh, I was not expecting that. But, interesting choice. I mean, I thought they would build up to it for the finale, but interesting choice. So let's break it down, because really that's what this whole episode is all about, and I've got a lot to say about it. Alright, I think the best scene in the series so far, by far, is when Vader is walking down that street, force choking people, dragging people out of their houses, slamming them against the walls. He was not fooling around. I love how he was looking around while he was doing that for Obi-Wan, because he sensed him somewhere. And he was trying to coax him out of hiding, and I loved it so much. Now, in the season so far, they've let a lot of scenes breathe that I didn't think really warranted it, and that has led to some of the pacing issues that I've had with the show so far. But this scene in particular was a fantastic use of that. There was a slow reveal of the full figure of Vader, bit by bit. I think they started off with the shadows, and then the boots, and maybe a shot of the helmet or his lightsaber or something, and also the music and the sound that was accompanying it. It just built the tension up to this great moment when finally Obi-Wan snaps out of his trance that he's in, and he rushes off to lead Vader out of town. Now, how exactly he got out of town without anyone or Vader seeing him straight away is anyone's guess, but anyway, let's just move on. Now, their next scene together was a bit weirdly directed, I thought. It was a bit choppy, like and awkwardly framed and staged, especially the fight, but I really did enjoy seeing Vader sort of play with his food and really taunt Obi-Wan, because he knew he had the upper hand. He was in control. He is at the height of his powers. Obi-Wan's obviously struggling for confidence, for his own power. Obi-Wan's a broken spirit right now, pretty much. And he's just messing with him, wielding his lightsaber with one hand, like a boss. I mean, from memory, in their fight in A New Hope, he was using 2 hands and just using the one hand, doing all these little swishes and flicks or whatever. It was amazing. It was all so delicious, and there I was just lapping it all up. I mean, I know he's a villain, he's an awful guy, but he's still pretty bloody cool. Now, speaking of cool, Ewan McGregor is still that when wielding a lightsaber. That blue glow against his face, he just looked like he was ready for action, but he was still vulnerable as well. Awesome. The guy just looks badass. And it's always great seeing the contrast of the cool, soothing blue of Obi-Wan's lightsaber against the horror of the red lightsaber. Now, the fight was pretty good as well. Again, I don't think it was very well directed, but it's definitely a good precursor to what is sure to be an epic showdown towards the end of the season, if not at the very end. And I thought it was sadistic as hell, and I'm sure very cathartic for Vader that he got to drag Obi-Wan through the fire, and that was really painful to watch. It's an interesting thing to retcon for the Obi-Wan character, and I guess a clever way to do it, because in A New Hope, from memory, he's either wearing a long sleeve shirt or he's wearing a long cloak the whole time, so we don't really see his arms. That being said, I'm not sure why his face didn't get scarred at all, because, that was in the fire as well. But again, let's just move on. Now, at the end, when the droid, whatever its name was taking Obi-Wan and Vader was just standing there, I think us fans can read a lot into Vader's apparent fear of fire, or his hesitancy to sort of rush through the flames to get after this Obi-Wan character who he's been so desperate to find for the last 10 years. But I don't really think on the surface the show conveyed that enough. But I mean, again, that's a nitpick. Overall, the scenes with him and Obi-Wan were just fantastic and the best of the season so far. As far as what I liked about the rest of the episode, Reva's backstory is still really intriguing. I've been told that it was the Jedi symbol that she saw carved into the wall and had that emotional reaction to, which lends credence to the online rumour that she's one of the Padawans we see during Order 66 at the start of Episode 1. Maybe Vader spared her life because he sensed the dark side in her, and she is then constantly seeking his approval, maybe out of some father issues, because as Obi-Wan says earlier in this episode, Padawans are taken away from their families at a young age to go and train at the Jedi Temple. Now, Indira Varma was great as Tala, I thought. I don't recall us seeing a character before become part of the Empire because they wanted to be, then realise what the Empire really was once they're in the system, and then decide to defect. There probably is, but I can't recall. I'm not fully immersed in all Star Wars media, so if you do know of a character, please let me know in the comments below. And I hope she continues to play a big part in the next few episodes because she was great, her performance was great, and I think she can, as a character, restore a lot of Obi-Wan's hope and will to be part of the good fight, the rebellion. I loved the design of Freck. He was really gross and weird looking, but I was strangely fixated on him. And the whole time I just assumed it was Seth Rogen playing him, but it turns out it was Zach Braff from Scrubs. And it also turns out he does a great Rogen impression. Hats off to him. Stormtrooper getting sliced in half by the laser gates. That was just perfect. I loved that. It was so out of the blue, but just a nice little quirky gag to happen that just adds a bit of character and flavour to the episodes. The scene in the back of the truck when they picked up the stormtroopers, when Obi-Wan and Leia were with Freck and they picked up the stormtroopers, was, I think, a great opportunity for Obi-Wan to try to do a Jedi mind trick on the stormtroopers when they were asking all of those questions. Now, we might have to watch the whole season to see where he ends up as a character, if he's fully confident with using the Force again, and these earlier episodes might just be him trying to get his groove back like Stella, let's say. The subtext was beautiful, though, in that scene, though, when he was talking about Luma's mother, and he was obviously thinking and talking about Padme. I'm looking forward to seeing Obi-Wan and Leia's relationship continuing to evolve in the next few episodes and future seasons if they do them. Because at the start of A New Hope, it's plausible that Leia had never met Obi-Wan before and had only heard of him from her father and how he was the only one who could help them at that time. But it's great that it still works as a retcon. It still works for the overall story that they did have this pre-existing relationship, and it's been really nice to see her draw him out of his shell more and more with each episode. Now, episode 3, I thought overall was the best of the season so far. There wasn't very much I didn't like about it. Again, the direction at times was a bit choppy, I thought, and the pacing is still a bit uneven. But really, the only other thing that I didn't like about the episode, and really the whole season so far, is the character of Fifth Brother. I don't see the point in him. I don't see what point he's serving. He's just annoying, really, whenever he interacts with Reva. I don't understand how you take an actor like Sung Kang, who is so charismatic in the Fast and Furious franchise, and just have him sort of scrunch up his face and growl at every word. I heard one reviewer say that he's doing a bad Christian Bale Batman voice impression, and it's spot on. It's just irritating to listen to. I hope that Reva offs him soon as well, like she did the Grand Inquisitor, and then we can just leave this whole character behind. Alright, so that is my breakdown of episode 3 of Obi Wan Kenobi. It's coming out a little bit later than I intended. I hope to get the review of episode 4 out by Thursday or Friday, so thanks for bearing with me. And thanks for coming back to my channel to see this episode. And tell me in the comments below what you thought of the episode. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel to see more videos. Thanks very much, and I'll see you later. Bye!